Meanwhile, New South Wales MP Shiket Musselmain has demanded an investigation into the very public raid by the AFP on his home. Mr Musselmain's lawyers are asking for answers regarding why the media had been tipped off about the raid. They claim that the media were there even before the AFP entered his home. The raid is part of an ongoing investigation between ASIO, the Department of Home Affairs, and the AFP. It centres around foreign interference in Australian politics. The lawyers allege that the media tip-off could only have come from one or of the Justice Departments involved. Ben, we definitely have a right to know, but people also have a right to privacy. Where do you stand on this? There's no doubt the media were given a tip-off.
Yeah, I think that they probably were given a tip-off, but I think at the end of the day, we're in unprecedented times. People need to understand that some of these rules and regulations are going to be bent. I've said this time and time again when it comes to my own privacy, and I think I forgo that whilst we're trying to fight a pandemic. And I think that still stands, and those rules apply to this situation.
But this has nothing to do with a pandemic. This has nothing to do with that. And basically, he has a right to privacy. He also has a right to be considered to be innocent before proven guilty. He had lost that because someone in those departments went and tipped off the media, and the media were there waiting before the AFP got there. Now, of course, we have a right to know if it's about our politicians. But, for example, the black bags that were being taken in and out of there were actually just hamburgers and Subway rolls, and it was lunch for people who were doing the search. But it did appear, or did have that narrative that they were taking things out, they were bringing things in. I don't think this is terrible, and these rules shouldn't be bent. I think it's very poor form for those, especially those departments, to leak to the media. Yes, we have a right to know. I've got to keep reiterating that. We've got a right to know, but this man does have a right to be innocent until proven guilty. I think it's very important.
Narrative, isn't there, Robbo, when he comes out of the house and the AFP are raiding his house, there is an assumption of guilt when you see those pictures. And
exactly, yeah.
The news don't have a camera on every corner. This was professionally shot. It's like the vision on 60 Minutes last night of Peter, the guy who, the alleged conman. I'm sure the name has just escaped.
Peter Foster.
Thank you. I could have sworn they had a drone shooting. This was highly orchestrated.
I know, but these days people are going to get tipped off. The media is always going to be looking for a story. They're going to always track that stuff down. And these days, when there is drones, there is new technology.
Well, it depends what we expect from our law service. Do we expect them to be giving access like this to the media to take part in raids against people that still have the presumption of innocence until proven guilty?
I think this is above my pay grade.
Well, it's an interesting one. I just find, Robbo, that there's always been a hand-in-hand relationship with the police and law enforcement and the media, and especially newsrooms. Yeah. But it does look like a PR exercise for the police, doesn't it?
It's a PR exercise, and it's very political, isn't it? So we're talking about a Liberal MP. Yes, it's important that political interference by other countries needs to be investigated, of course. But this, to me, just sounds like we've got an MP, we don't like him, so we're going to kind of drop this, as opposed to a normal police-media relationship where they might say, look, we know that there's going to be this big bust at this house. We've been under investigation for a while. It's two men in their 30s, blah, blah, blah. We'll let you know that, that's happening. So that's, all right. This, to me, though, just seems, especially from the places that the leaks have come from, is really unbecoming of those certain places, except for Peter Dutton. Peter Dutton's an idiot. But and he probably did it, actually, but allegedly. I said allegedly. Because it's a very political thing to do, isn't it? To really tip off the media about a political raid when no one else knew about it.
Well, it's also the thing that it's not all media, it's selected media. So, that's an interesting thing. Think about when Ivan Milat was arrested. Multiple media were told about it. So it wasn't just one media. But what we're seeing now is selected media with certain relationships getting this kind of access.
It's a Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo, Ben, Rob and Robbo show.